It's time, everybody.
Go, go, CFM. We are back once again this Wednesday evening bringing you the latest news headlines and some pretty sweet video game music. What's up, Vector?
What's up, Drix? You know, I'm sitting over here kicking myself because I forgot to play the biggest JRPG around that released this week, Ayuden Chronicle.
Ooh, yeah. It has a bit of JRPG lineage going for it.
Yes, and we're going to get into it. We're getting into that lineage a little bit later, but suffice it to say, that game has been seeing tons of rave reviews. If you're a JRPG fan, it's got a crazy pedigree that we're going to talk about a little bit later, but that's looking pretty good. I've been playing, as everybody knows, I've been playing a lot of Age of Wonders 4, and if you've been watching me on stream, I've been throwing my controller against the wall at Silent Bomber.
Yes, a lot of angry noises being made, getting through, what we thought was getting pretty close to the final battle, only to reveal, the last boss much later, and really duking it out with him over a chessboard.
Boy howdy, that chessboard really fucking sucks. Yeah, I apologize to everybody who might have tuned in and just experienced tons of gamer rage. I'm probably gonna volume control that VOD when I put it up on YouTube. But man, oh man, oh man, that game. You'll hear me, if you listen to the VOD or watch the VOD, you'll hear me detail all my complaints with it as I'm playing, because, man, it's impossible to not think about it while you're playing the game. I will say, regardless of the criticisms that I have for Silent Bomber, Drix, I'm very happy that the game wasn't super short, and I'm very happy that the game actually has a good amount of game in it, because it is pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of hooked on the story, edgy cyberpunk Bomberman over here.
Cyberpunk Bomberman, which is funny because I totally forgot. I wanted to see if you remember, Drix. Do you remember the time that they tried to remarket Bomberman as edgy on the 360?
Oh, no.
Official Bomberman?
I've only seen, more and more chibi versions of Bomberman.
Oh my god, I think they called it Bomberman Area Zero or something like that. And it was literally a dark, gritty Bomberman. And it was just Bomberman gameplay. But your character looked like fucking Vector Man. It was hilarious.
Yeah, one of the old, maybe not the best cover arts. I know Bomberman has one, but also Mega Man's known for a couple where it's hyper realistic.
Yeah,
I have a shirt for Mega Man 9 that has some pretty human features on Mega Man and Dr. Wily, and it's great, but like a cheesy B-movie poster.
They had those. That was the style at the time. It was that. Our good friend Patrick Hickey Jr., you follow him on any of his socials, that guy is a nostalgia cannon. He'll hit you with, the craziest games and cover arts. It's like, hey, anybody remember this game? And you're like, whoa, I might remember this game. But damn, look at the cover art. Or, damn, look at, this game. Seeing how stylized it was back in those days versus how,
poorly it aged.
Poorly it aged, and now it's almost in today's era. It's almost like you either hyper stylize your cover, and that's almost an indicator of it being a collector's edition or a special edition or a steelbook or something like that. And or you have sort of a simplistic cover that 9 times out of 10 is. Or I shouldn't say 9 times out of 10. That's being way too harsh. 7 out of 10 times. Just pretty much the logo and the key art.
Huh. Yeah, the marketing assets, if you will.
Yeah. So, it's interesting to see how that ended up working. How it ended up, shaking out in terms of video game marketing. I will remember it. It makes me think of what the Spider-Man 2 developers Insomniac were saying about their choice of cover art for the Spider-Man 2 video game. And they said that they just wanted to keep it simple because they wanted to make sure that you knew what you were playing right when you were buying it.
Yes, you can judge this book by its cover almost.
Yes, just 2 Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2.
Yep, not the one I'm playing on the PS5 either.
Yeah. So that's it. That's kind of what I've been up to. Streaming will continue. Silent Bomber Rage Fest continues on next Tuesday. We'll see if we can get into another game, jump into another game. I'm thinking about a couple of different games. I'm kind of wondering if I should hold off on Ayuden Chronicle. Maybe I'll just play that on stream as an RPG theater, you know? So we'll see what ends up happening. What ends up happening with something like that. But as long as Silent Bomber keeps kicking my ass, it's gonna be Silent Bomber.
Nice. Yeah, I hope you get to the end of that one.
But I gotta ask, Drix, have you been playing any games? What are you gonna join us on any streams? What's going on?
You know what? I might have had to postpone my Earthbound adventure until May. Yeah, Oof. First week of May, Monday, 8 o'clock. We'll dive right into, we'll call it Mother May or Mother Mondays. Yeah, from Mario to Mega Man to Mother. But yeah, knock another bucket list RPG off of my list. Yeah, Monday, May 6th. I'll take over RPG Theater once again.
Sounds good.
And get into some meaty NES and fun tunes. And quite the journey that NES embarks on in the Super Nintendo classic Earthbound, as it's known in America.
You know, I love Earthbound. It's one of my favorite RPGs. Truly a classic. It's crazy to me that you never got through it. But I will, much like Super Mario RPG, especially since it was the remake that you played, which is amazingly faithful to the original game. I'm really excited for you to play some Earthbound. I love Earthbound. Earthbound's it's a very interesting JRPG. There's not a lot of games like it. You know, it's surprisingly, I like to say kinetic, because it's not like you always have to be waiting for your turn. You can have things happening while the life counter is going down, while something else, other action is happening on the screen. You can be reacting to it. So it's very gameplay intensive, and I love Earthbound. So I can't wait to see your travel through it.
Yeah, and you never know. I might pick up Pokemon Pinball if I feel so inclined.
Hey.
Just for an improvisational pinball study session for the Game Boy Color.
Hey, you know what? We love those when you just decide to go live. I think it's one of the cooler things that you do for us here, Drix, is when it's like, all right, you know what? On Twitch, I'm going to go live right now. Let's play some Pokemon Pinball. Let's play some Pokemon Puzzle League. Let's play some the robot pinball. I keep forgetting what that robot Game Boy pinball.
It's called Super Robot Pinball, based on the Super Robot Wars. I guess it's an anime, but it's
Super
more
Robot
like
Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson. That's the Japanese term I'm looking for.
Hey.
But yeah, that pinball game is an amazing import and has a lot of similarities with the Pokemon one. But yeah, it's probably like my favorite game on the Game Boy Color. It's tough. It's a toss-up, especially amongst pinball ones that I play on the go. But I love, streaming on Twitch obscure things. That's kind of what we're known for here. But
right.
Something different that you cherish and hold special, and maybe nobody else is probably streaming.
Hey, you know what? Pokemon Pinball, when it comes to pinball, Drix, I'm always gonna defer to you, because you are the pinball guy. You're out there competing in pinball, so it's all you when it comes to that. And I gotta say, I grew up with Pokemon Pinball as well. I love all those Pokemon Pinball games. You know what, Drix? It's lying around here somewhere. I can't find it. So stupid. It's so stupid that I can't find these games. The one bad part about buying physical games, you can lose them sometimes. I have the Switch version of the Marvel Pinball, because I was told that it was a good one, because I got the Star Wars Pinball on the Switch and I thought it kind of sucked. And I was happy that I didn't pay a ton for it. I got it on a bargain. And but I got the Star Wars or the Marvel Pinball. Like I said, I can't find the damn cartridge, but that was a lot better.
Yeah, you can feel it, not just in the, atmosphere and music and stuff, but in the good old ball physics.
Right, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
That's what makes pinball unique, is it's instead of programming gravity, it's using real gravity.
It's actual gravity.
I call it a video game on vinyl.
It's, you know what? I like that term. But hey, as long as we're sitting here reminiscing about the past, we might as well move on to the big thing, because as we know, Drix, what's old is new.
Yeah, things are coming back around in weird, new, and kind of cool and exciting ways.
Yeah, and while we don't have Fallout 4 B-roll for you right here, it's still a Bethesda Fallout 76 going on right now, because Drix, Fallout fever is sweeping across the gaming landscape due to the massive success of the Amazon Prime series.
Yeah, I remember getting a hand-me-down PC and immediately popping the first Fallout game on it to just run through it again.
Absolutely.
with a different unique character build.
Absolutely.
Something you always want to come back to. Fallout's just that kind of game.
Yeah, you know what? It's what I played through Fallout 2 on Game Pass just last year. So,
nice.
100%. I could. That game, Fallout 2, is one of my favorite RPGs. Like, not just one of my favorite Fallout games, one of my favorite RPGs. Because it's so good. Like, real role-playing hours with Fallout 2. Like,
yep, decisions that matter.
Truly. But while we aren't getting a new game or big name DLC to complement the release of the streaming series, Fallout 4 is getting a huge next-gen update, Drix.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if my PS4 disc will play better on my PS5 if I pop it in.
Hey, it should, because you know what? From Bethesda.net, the headline is Fallout 4 is getting free updates. From the article, quote, Bethesda Game Studios is releasing a free Fallout 4 update for download on Xbox Series S and X and PlayStation 5. This free update includes native applications for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, performance mode, and quality mode settings, as well as stability improvements and fixes. Experience up to 60 FPS and increased resolutions. And there's also new content, Drix. Quote, Enclave Remnants brings the pre-war cabal, the Enclave, into the Fallout 4 storyline. In this new quest, Echoes of the Past, can you stop the Enclave from spreading their dangerous ideology and gaining foothold in the Commonwealth? Along with a ton of extra weapons and Halloween-themed decor, weirdly enough, to deck out and defend your settlements with. Drix, this sounds like something that, I wasn't a big Fallout 4 fan, not really into the story, and I didn't even find the world too compelling, but all this sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely something to keep you coming back if you have put it down for a while. Or, maybe they had, some content just laying around that, or they might have even prepared a little bit for the release of the show. They're like, oh yeah, this will definitely spark some new interest and maybe get some new eyes on a beloved franchise.
I mean, it's interesting. I think a lot of it comes from in the press release they said a lot of it is coming from the Creator Club, like for mods, and a lot of it. And for my money, I bet you we might see. This sounds like they imported Fallout 4 into the Fallout 76 engine, because the one thing that Fallout 76 had over Fallout 4 is increased texture resolution and dynamic lighting, and so we might just be getting something like that. But like I said, it's not just this we're porting it into a new engine update. There's a whole new quest line, there's weapons, there's Halloween decor.
Yeah, even if you're just in it for the spoopy time.
Seriously, pretty interesting update. And you know what? I would have never guessed that any more love would have come out for Fallout 4 as opposed to Fallout 76 in the year 2024.
Yeah. No, but single player games versus stuff you do online with multiplayer. There's apples and oranges.
Yeah.
You gotta cover all your bases.
No, I agree. But you know what, Drix? The one thing that I have to stop and appreciate is this bumping beat we got in the background. What is this?
Ooh, this is from a game called Natsuki Chronicles. It's a song called Synthesized Shadow from Stage 9.
Synthesized Shadow from Natsuki Chronicles Stage 9. CFM Radio, we are live.
There are days you'll be weak, there are days you'll be lost. There are times where you feel you wanna run and hide. There are days you'll be down and you start to wonder if the world would be better off if you died. I have those days too, but I believe I'm gonna make it through, and I won't run away, I won't die. I'm gonna level up, be the best that I can be, and I'm not gonna stop questing until I'm a hero. I'm gonna level up, be the best that I can be. I swear that I'll become unstoppable, and you'll be right at me. I've got to see this through, I can't look back until the end. Rise from rock bottom to the future I've seen in my dreams. So come on, let's go level up.
CFM Radio Gaming News.
Yeah, that was your boy Ichiban Kasuga singing a song called The Future I Dreamed Of. It's one of the karaoke songs in Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Love Like a Dragon. The turn-based action does not, just because the action is turn-based, it does not detract from the, I guess, moment-to-moment attitude of the series that you're still smashing people over the head with traffic cones and chairs and all that fun stuff. Like,
stylish.
Very stylish, doing like tons of hits of combos. But Drix, I gotta say, while we like to sandwich our new releases between the news, Stellar Blade is all over it this week with its announcement of an uncensored worldwide release.
Oh no. Everybody's going to horny jail.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
whether you like it or
not, dude, it doesn't matter. Like you're going. Sorry.
Food is with you.
And it's crazy because this includes in territories that have traditionally been heavy-handed when it comes to video game censorship, such as Saudi Arabia and Japan.
Yeah, wow. Maybe they're trying to blaze a trail that others might follow.
Perhaps, but I will say that this has prompted a response from the industry in ways that cast a new light on previously released games. And this one comes from Automaton. The headline reads, quote, Stellar Blade's uncensored release in Japan prompts criticism of the rating system.
Yeah, definitely something you might want to bring into question when getting uncensored versions of games, especially in your local market.
Especially when you hear this article, Drix. Listen, from the article, the quote, the disparity between Stellar Blade's gore and its Zero D rating has prompted a response from Electronic Arts Japan's general manager, Sean Noguchi. While Noguchi offers nothing but praise for Stellar Blade itself, even encouraging people to buy it, he questions the Zero rating system and its apparent inconsistency. He mentions that EA's Dead Space, which was released in January of 2023, was denied a Zero rating due to, quote, depictions of cross sections and severed body parts and internal organs.
Some parents would rather their kids watch 1,000 violent deaths than the tender act of love.
Very, very true. And, when you compare it to Stellar Blade, like you're seeing it on the B-roll here, it does raise a good point. Why Stellar Blade and why not Dead Space?
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to have principles, you got to hold to them, especially when it comes to regulating government bodies and the like.
So Automaton has a tweet from Noguchi on X, which translates to, quote, what's going on, Zero? The Stellar Blades demo was really fun and absolutely action-packed. However, Zero, you denied our Dead Space rating because it includes cross-sections of severed body parts and internal organs. But here we have both cross-sections and insides on display passed off with a Zero D rating. I find this hard to accept.
Yeah, even I was taken aback in the opening cutscene, and people are just getting donutted left and right.
Dude, it's kind of wild, especially no spoilers. What the ultimate fate of Eve's partner? Oh my God, you see the whole thing,
yeah,
you see the whole damn thing, let's just say it's vivisection is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So, reading further, quote, Noguchi's words indicate that Dead Space was not even eligible for a Zero Z 18+ rating, while Stellar Blade received the lower Zero D rating, even though it contains depictions similar to what Dead Space was rejected for. Sorry, tripping over myself in that reading, but you know what? It still doesn't change the fact that Drix, it seems like there's a little bit of a double standard here. What do you? I can't help but to think about, maybe there might be a little bit of favoritism. Like, it's a PS5 exclusive, right? Like,
yeah, there might be some underhanded business partnerships at work, or I'd like to chalk it up to just cultural differences between different nations and cultures. But who knows? I mean, could there be a bribe? Maybe. I don't know.
I wouldn't even say so far as a bribe. Maybe just like, it's a game exclusively for their console that has had a lot of people talking, good or bad. So maybe you just look the other way on a couple things. Not even, and that's not even like a bribe, right? That's not even anything like underhanded. It's just like, I mean, it's an exclusive title, bro. And then everyone's just kind of like, yeah.
Kind of hard to stuff your bias under the rug when it's present.
Yeah, when it means your bottom line, especially.
Yeah, exactly.
But hey, you know what? Regardless of what anybody might think, Stellar Blade looking pretty cool. Reviews are in. It's getting relatively decent praise. But you know what, Drix, wake up! It's been a sleepy month, but now the doors are getting absolutely kicked open with new releases. We're just going to go right into the new releases because Stellar Blade is one of them. And earlier I said I neglected to play Ayuden Chronicle from the recently deceased legendary developer Yoshitaka Muramaya. And that was of Suikoden fame. Rest in peace.
Yes, this one goes to the real ones.
The real ones, that's my bad. I'll get right on that. But that came out yesterday, April 23rd, and man, that game was just the tip of the iceberg, Drix.
Yeah, no, big stuff. We've already got a few demo impressions on our YouTube of the games that we're going to announce that come out in the next week.
Yep, and one of the games that we didn't get around to getting an impression on was this one, Saga Emerald. What is this? Saga Emerald Beyond. From the Steam page, quote, "Forge your own tale. The latest standalone entry in the Saga franchise, Saga Emerald Beyond, brings together the very best elements of the beloved series to offer each player their own unique gameplay experience." And Drix, this one is getting some favorable reviews, and it seems to have an excellent combat system.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I like to hear from JRPG veterans, reinvigorating a classic franchise.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? This one comes out tomorrow, Thursday, April 25th for this. And get ready. You might want to pull out a pen because this one's coming out for iOS, Android, Switch, PS4, PS5, and PC via Steam.
Yes, finally, your mobile gamers can get a taste of some JRPG action.
Yeah, and you know what? If it looks as good, half as good on your phone as it does in this B-roll, Drix, that's a pretty good phone experience, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's Saga Emerald Beyond, comes out tomorrow, April 25th. The next game we got is, let me get it up there. Drix played this one, played the demo for this one. It is Sandland.
Yes, it was a good time. Not a meaty demo, but I am catching what the game has been pitching, and I'm pretty stoked.
And this is another posthumous release from a legendary Japanese creator. This time it's Akira Toriyama, and we've got this from the official website, quote, "Dive into a desert world where both humans and demons suffer from an extreme water shortage. Sandland. Meet the fiend Prince Beelzebub, his chaperone Thief, and the fearless Sheriff Rao, and follow the team in an extraordinary adventure in search of the legendary spring hidden in the desert." And this one is hitting PS4, PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC this Friday, April 26th. Akira Toriyama, rest in peace, because this art style, it's iconic.
Yeah, we're gonna enjoy this for years to come, just like many of his other works.
Absolutely, and that one is Sandland. It's coming out again Friday, April 26th. And you know what, Drix? The next one, it's a big one. We all know it. We all love it. It's Stellar Blade.
Yes, straight out of Korea and hitting the world this week. Exciting.
Hitting your PS5 this week. It's the one that everyone's looking forward to. You know what? It's only got a 7.5 overall, though, as far as ratings go. So I guess it's one of those games where if you really like action games, you probably pick it up. Otherwise, maybe hold off on it. But either way, from the PlayStation Store page, quote, "The future of humanity hangs in the balance in Stellar Blade, an all-new story-driven action adventure on the PlayStation 5. Ravaged by strange, powerful creatures, Earth has been abandoned, and what is left of the decimated human race has fled to a colony out in outer space. After traveling from Colony 7, Airborne Squad member Eve arrives on the desolate remains of our planet, with a clear-cut mission to save mankind by reclaiming Earth from the Natiba, the malevolent force that has devastated it. But as Eve tackles the Natiba one by one, piecing together the mysteries of the past in the ruins of human civilization, she realizes that her mission is far from straightforward. In fact, almost nothing is as it seems." And you know what, Drix? I played the demo on this one, and I recently went back. The reason why I made that comment is I recently went back and I played through it. The demo, again, is only about an hour long. And, you know, I can't help but to think that the controls aren't as tight as I would like.
Yeah. What hit me weird was I couldn't acclimate within the hour or so that I played it to how slow the enemies.
Yeah.
It's you have to, in order to time your parries correctly, and it kind of relies pretty heavily on you landing those parries and stuff, dodges. I kept hitting everything too early, and the enemy just kept faking me out by going incredibly slow.
Yeah, they like wind up forever. They do like the weird. It's weird. It's like the game is like paced like Dark Souls, but once you land a hit, you got to do like a Devil May Cry combo, and like it's not just one parry. You need to get a series of parries off in order to actually like make your own like opening, I guess, right? Like sometimes those enemies, a couple of them, you parry them once and they just like freak out like a Dark Souls enemy, right? As they run in the mill Dark Souls enemy. But
the smaller minions.
Yeah, but like anything larger than like the thing that's just pretty much just a stinger is gonna take like 2 or 3 in a row parries. You need to parry like the whole combo.
Yeah, it can get pretty tough.
Yeah.
But definitely worth checking out, and
yeah,
I need to finish the demo still, actually.
I mean, you know, it's one of those games where like again, I said it before, I'll say it again. I think everybody should play the demo for themselves because it wasn't for how the game plays. I feel like the pacing of the action just kind of wasn't for me. Again, not something that I won't pick up. It's definitely a feast for the eyes. This thing can This thing shows you what the PS5 can do.
Yeah, like check it out, if only for the visual spectacle. Even if you only make it through the first cutscene.
Honestly, like that's not even a lie.
You'll be taken aback. And say, "Wow,
it's pretty cool." Like it just. Anybody, you know, here's the thing. It's one of those things where everybody, the big deal with this game, right? Oh, the hypersexualization. I think anybody who actually sits and looks at the game and like that first cutscene, if you sit and watch that, dude, you're set. Anybody is set.
Yeah.
It's just high octane action. Like,
yep. It's not her fault. She's also a pretty lady.
Yeah,
going through the toughest of times mankind has ever seen.
Yeah, right. Shit, it ain't her fault. That's a real person in there.
Built that way.
Built that way. But you know what? That's Stellar Blade. And you know what, Drix? Finally, here's one I'm surprisingly hyped for, and it's a lot more modest than Stellar Blade.
Yeah, much more down to earth than the alien action we were just talking about.
And it is the return of legendary tennis franchise Top Spin.
Nice. Yeah. There's always room in our hearts for a nice tennis simulation.
Yes,
among other sports.
For a good tennis game. And from the website, quote, the Top Spin franchise returns with the Top Spin 2K25, featuring tennis legends Roger Federer, Serena Williams, and a cast of other playable pros, competitive single-player and multiplayer modes, all 4 historic Grand Slams, and much, much more. That one is hitting PS5 along with PS4, Xbox Series consoles, Xbox One, and PC this Friday, April 26th. Now, Drix, I played Match Point Tennis for Clusterfuck Media for our website like a year or so back. It really made me. I also sat in on a talk with the devs. You know, that game is really, really a well-crafted competitive tennis experience, and that game kind of sets the bar for me as far as tennis simulations in the modern day. So I can't wait to try Top Spin and see if it stacks up.
Yeah, and it's going to be a regular Tony Hawk with all the featured tennis legends.
Seriously. Hey, you know what? Tennis isn't a huge sport. I don't know about you, but I don't have a lot of people in my family that are tennis fan diehards, and I certainly don't keep up with a ton of tennis, but it is one of those sports that when I'm going through YouTube or just even on the TV like the boomer that I am, when tennis pops up and it's a good match, and you could always recognize a good tennis match because the back and forth is so palpable. You know,
volleys.
Oh God, no, you tell me about it. But
yeah, you might not know a lot, but you know a good game.
But you know a good game, so
the sports bar.
So you can stop and actually appreciate, one of the few ones where the layman can stop and appreciate the tension of the sport. So that's Top Spin 2K25. I'm excited for it. I think you should be too. It's gonna hit your digital storefronts and physical storefronts this Friday, April 26th. But you know what, Drix? Sounds like we're taking it back with this jam you got going on for us.
Oh yeah, right now we got a song from Punch-Out for the Wii. This is the Glass Joe match.
Glass Joe match, Punch-Out for the Wii. This is actually an awesome game. CFM Radio, we are live. Shout out Six Eye. Thanks for coming on.
to the maximum. The pig in the crib, pig in the wrong tongue. Full of stamina and intelligence. With me, I am Bobby. Tell them. I can kill you. Wickeder than the rest, becoming bad, badder than the rest, wickeder than the rest.
Clusterfucked Media.
CFM Radio.
CFM Radio, we are back.
Yo. We are getting close to the end of our show. We had some new releases, a little bit more news. That last song was called Nuff Respect, featuring Naki from Gitaru Man for the PS2.
Gitaru Man, a classic on the PS2. Honestly, Gitaru Man and Gitaru Man Lives on the PSP, if you're able to play these games, you really should. They're like the most unique rhythm games I've ever played. Like, even like to this day, I don't think there's really a rhythm game that plays quite like Gitaru Man. At least you could play on a console.
Yeah, I need to get emulating on that one. Goes out to all my 420 crew too. The Reggae Jam.
Reggae, hell yeah. Always remembering the most important holiday over here. Like,
yes.
But you know what? We hate ending things on downers. But speaking of important things, and we haven't talked about it in some time, but layoff season in the gaming industry is still rampant, Drix.
Yeah. Employed beware.
Jesus.
They might come for your chair.
Yeah, God, dude. Yeah, that really sucks, but, it's so rampant, in fact, that this story we have seems to be unprecedented to the casual gaming fan. Like, if you just told your buddy at work who plays games with you on occasion, they don't listen to CFM radio, they're not, like, hip to the news like you guys are, like, they're just getting it through osmosis on the PlayStation Store and stuff like that. So this story that you're about to hear, you tell this to one of those guys, it might blow their mind. Because from Video Game Chronicle, the headline is, quote, "It's been really painful. Ex-Lionhead devs explain why they've announced and shelved a new game."
No, that's not what we want to hear at all.
announced and shelved?
Like in the same breath.
Oh, man. Yeah, all right. So here it is. From the article, quote, on Tuesday, developer Flaming Fowl announced deck building strategy game Ironmarked. A demo has been released on Steam, but the studio says development has already been put on hold due to, quote, the unusual financial situation currently affecting the video games industry.
Huh. Are we all unusually broke at the moment?
Reading further, CEO Craig Oman told VGC that Flaming Fowl had been forced to shelve Ironmarked after the game was unexpectedly dropped by its publisher last summer. Quote, we've been working on the game for over a year, he explained. We had a publisher, but they pulled out last year around June, and we've been self-funding since August. We've been pitching to publishers since then, but all they said, quote, the game looks great, the team looks great, but we're not signing anything right now.
Man, sounds like they're shopping around for a record deal.
Oh my God. Drix. The pain and the parallels of the record industry and the gaming industry that you can draw is just awful.
Yep, that's what I'm here to point out.
It's so insane. Like, and reading further, the article itself is full of illuminating information on the current game development landscape from an industry professional who has been in the game for quite a while as an ex-Lionhead studio developer. Lionhead of Fable fame, right?
Yeah. It's not like they don't know how to make a good game.
Nah, this article goes into investigations by entities such as gamesindustry.biz and other information points to the reasons why it's tougher now more than ever to get your game off the ground. And it's one of these things where right here in the article, quote, I just wanted to get the game to see the light of day, Oman explained. I've worked in the industry for a long time, and there's been so many times that projects have been put on ice and never come back. I really don't want it to be another one of these games that never comes out and only a handful of people ever know about them.
Yeah, I mean, you want your art and your craft to at least see the light of day, but that's self-funding instead of seeking publishing, huh? Maybe, oh no, we already have like a deck builder right now, or we already have something a little similar, similar genre.
And I was gonna say that right there, it might be hitting on something that people don't necessarily detect, because I don't know.
We already have our fill of card games.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's taking a look at the landscape of even not just mentioning digital, but physical card games and translations from digital to physical, and vice versa. Oh my God, there are so many card games out right now, and not just card games, like traditional card games, like card deck builders, roguelike card games. You had a couple years back, you had Inscription, the game that kind of redefined what a card game was, and kind of made people who enjoy card games think of card games in a much more robust way. So specifically these guys, if you're trying to make something like that, that's really competitive right now. But I'm not gonna totally put it on them, because Drix, it's like you said, sounds a lot like shopping for a record deal.
Yeah, I mean, timing is everything, right?
I
mean, hopefully a time comes when we actually get to play the game they've worked on.
I mean, I guess you could get you could go play a demo right now, but he is right. There's a ton of games. There are games that I know that I was looking forward to in my, not just in my lifetime, in recent memory, that got canceled, that have been delayed indefinitely. Lost Soul aside, anybody hear of that one? Scalebound, anybody hear of that one? Like, there's a lot of games that I was looking forward to that just never came out. Or, you know, the Earthworm Jim remake, HD remakes, anybody? Like,
geez.
like those just get memory hold. Drix, he's right. These things just go
shelved,
away,
as they say.
and then and no one talks about them. Only a handful of people remember them or know about them. And you know what? Further to the point, it is like you said. Yeah, this isn't just something for us to consume. This is somebody's art.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see it surface. What they want, you know, is like a guarantee of sales or return on investment.
The ROI,
so
baby.
Who knows? Maybe, you know, if you believe in power to the people, you get enough people knocking on that door or breaking it down saying, you know, we want our Earthworm Jim remake, or we want our deck builder.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
I guess that's what Kickstarter's for.
Yeah. You can always, you know, bypass their mainframe or their firewall to access their mainframe and just like rip it Hackerman style and get it out.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm not the guy for that. That's for sure.
Definitely an interesting situation to look into. Huge, again, ex-Lionhead Studios veterans. Like, he's getting feedback like, great team, great game. We're just not signing anything right now. So it's a lot of interesting insight. Again, I highly encourage anybody to take a look at the article itself. That headline is, here we go. Quote, "It's been really painful. Ex-Lionhead devs explain why they've announced and shelved a new game." Like I said, it's a very dense read. There's a lot of insight as to how an industry veteran is looking at this, because he does in another part of the article, he does mention that he's more or less in more eloquently than I'm about to say, used to this, and he's seen this before, and it normally ends, this churning process ends on the other side better for everyone. But, you know, I don't think we've been in a situation in modern gaming today that really has set us up to, because this is another thing that I wanted to get to, that I'm rambling here, but another thing that I wanted to get to, this isn't the only game that was like this. Another game, a Love Live game, came out. It was announced, came out, and had its cancellation date also announced in the same post.
Wow. Yeah, it's an unfortunate circumstance, but not something we haven't seen before, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to think about it. We'll see if this is just one of those, like this guy is saying, one of these times in the industry where things just aren't being funded, or the entire industry is underfunded, or if this is it might be one of these weird new trends where it's like, hey, you know what? Here comes this game. It's coming out. Here's a demo, or it's gonna run for this long and then get canceled. You know, like.
Wow. Yeah, not enough followers on the old TikTok or something.
Something, yeah. But like we said, we don't like to end things on a downer, but this is one of those more interesting. It's a little bit more nuanced than just being like, oh man, layoffs. It's a lot more.
No. Nobody got fired anyway.
Yeah, it's a lot more like, oh no, there were plenty of layoffs in this situation. I think they had to lay off like half their studio. But it is one of those, because they ended up being self-funded, right? So
yeah,
like
you gotta cover those costs somehow.
Gotta cover it all, you know. So we'll see if this is just one of those things, like this guy is saying, like a funk they have to work through, or this might be a smaller part of a wider trend where your games just end, and you're being told they're ending up front.
Yeah. Wow. Unfortunate. R.I.P.
R.I.P. RIP, a project from some pretty promising developers.
Yeah. Watch a version of this surface sooner or later, though.
Sooner or later, right? Like that game Dark and Darker that went through that whole weird legal battle and then ended up coming out on the Epic Game Store just fine. So we might have something like that. But Drix, that's it from me.
Yes. We'll keep playing you some more video game music and reading the latest headlines next Wednesday here on YouTube.
Make sure you are tuning in every week to CFM Radio for the latest and greatest video game news and headlines and music spun by good old Drix, aka DJ Benham, and me, Vector, founder of clusterfuckmedia.com and this channel. Make sure you're tuning in on Tuesdays to see me rage at Silent Bomber for as long as it ends up kicking my ass. I'll have the VOD up.
I enjoy watching.
I know. I'll have the VOD up. But I'm gonna try to have the VOD up by next Monday because I'm gonna try to really see if the volume control on the rage is a problem that I need to edit.
Nope. Just a bunch of ear grape.
Ear grapes. All right, though, Drix. Until next time, I'm gonna go play some games.
Yes, indeed. Me as well. Till next week, gamers.
Have a good night.